Hi, I'm back. Oh my God. I don't really understand technology. I wish I did, but I don't. I'm going to wait a minute for people to come back. I'm so sorry. All right. Hi, I'm so sorry. You'd think it would automatically do what you wanted to do, but it doesn't. So I'm going to begin the whole thing again. You're back. Yes. I'm so sorry about that. Anyway, yeah. So I think I'm going to eliminate the other one and begin this one. So if you're watching this not live, I had one and then I unplugged and I had no sound. So I started again. Okay. So it's Black Friday. I figured people would be around. And so I figured I would do a little to do and ask everyone about what they ate and say that everything's on sale. Call it in is the energy. I'm so sorry. I feel like an idiot. Um, Technology is challenging. I had a it's a long story, but somebody asked me to make like a really small video that you could watch on mobile and to say it in English and then to do Spanish subtitles. Well, it took me, I don't know, 6 hours to figure it out. Something like that. I finally found a site that I know, but I feel badly about the other people. Well, they'll find me again, I guess. Um, anyway, I finally figured it out. I found a site that does it for free because everyone is like, oh, it's free. And then you do it. And it's like, well, if you actually want what you uploaded, you have to pay. But it's free to use the technology. Well, not if I can't use the technology, if only I can see it. So, anyway, um, the energy is call it in. I know Teresa, it's like you can watch the same video again and again. So the energy is call it in. So there's this meditation that I did this morning and last night where you go into your heart center and you fill it with love, right? And you send out love and comfort and, I don't know, gratitude. And then from there, you ask your higher self to come in, your higher spirit, your guardian angel, but your higher self, your guardian angels, your helper, your higher self is you. So you call that energy in, and maybe you see it as a color, or you feel it in a different way, and then you send out. It's almost like you're going fishing. You send out fishing lines, or you send out um, a web, or whatever works for you. In your head. Um, and you call in your helpers. You call in the people that either who are in your life already or ones you have yet to meet. For help, for comfort, for support, for love, like friendship, opportunities, um, kindness, opportunity to work with one another, to be soul buddies. What it's called, like a soul buddy. A soul buddy is, it's not usually a romantic thing. It's more of an energy of like friendship, or like maybe the people you work with, or your neighbors, or your neighborhood, or your tribe in a way, right? And your tribe could be, maybe you come from completely different backgrounds and you live in different parts of the world, but your head is in the same place. Maybe you're both involved in a certain, artistic thing, or you're both really involved in history, or I don't know what it is, anything. So you call them in and you feel them kind of surrounding you and loving you. You receive the love from them. I'm saying I'm here, right? I'm saying I'm here, and please come and support me and love me and be kind to me. And then you send out this energy of love toward them. You send like a link from your heart to their hearts, whether you know them or not, and they could be anywhere in the world, really. And you send love to them and you receive love, and you send and you receive. And so what happens is it's almost like you ever watch those videos of like those underwater creatures, in a way that it's almost like a slow motion heartbeat. It sends out and it comes in, like the way a jellyfish goes, right? It sends out and then it comes in, it sends out. It's like that. It's like that energy, right? Of the heartbeat of sending love or receiving love, and sending love or receiving love. It's really beautiful. And then you ground the energy in. So, a good way to ground the energy in. So I'm going to show you a simpler one where you do like this and like that. You you cross the signals, right? And you put them on your knee or around your knee or thigh, and you rub it in. I ground this energy in. I make it so. I'm planting it. It's almost like petting a dog in a way. Okay. So it's really lovely, really lovely. I don't know if you can hear that. That's the garbage. They ring a bell. It was so cold here last night. It was so freaking cold because it was really gloomy yesterday, really unusual, gloomy and cloudy, and it rained a little bit, and the day before. And I'm used to having sun every day. So it just got chilly. I mean, it wasn't really like, it was like 68, but like dampy, kind of 68 with no sun. And we're high. The thing is, we're really high. We're surrounded. It's like a raised plateau. It's a raised plateau. It's like 7,000 feet up. And I'm surrounded by mountains. So sometimes the wind comes in, and it was really kind of cold. So last night I was like wearing a sweatshirt, not this one, but another one. And I have like a knit hat. I wore that to bed, and I slept with 2 blankets. I was cold because there's no heat here, because you usually don't need it. All right. And then I threw a card of the day. So maybe it'll be 2 cards of the day. I don't know. You're both there still, right? Oh, and Sin was asking me about my art, and I was trying to describe it to her. Oh, how awful. Yeah, I'm still here. I'm still live. I will never do that again. This is not the first time that happened, where I unplugged the microphone and then I can't get back. Because I have this microphone, right? It's huge. Supposedly noise canceling. It's better than just the computer. But I figured when you unplug it, it'll automatically go to the computer, but it doesn't. All right. Okay, good. Thank you, Dina. So I'm going to throw another card for the day. So not only do I throw the card for the day, Dina, but you get a little extra lesson. What do you think, Dina? You think I should go live every day? It's snowing. Wow. Wow. Is it a lot? I know, Teresa. I know. But you know how these computers are. They have a life of their own. Lots of messages. Lots of messages. Lots of creative So 8. Okay. So what does 8 mean, Dina? 8 is abundance and awareness. Abundance, I think it's the AA, right? It's easy to write something the same letter. It's abundance and awareness. So it's like lots of fertile messages coming. Lots of fertile messages, lots of ideas, lots of creativity. Well, isn't rain better than snow, Teresa? Snow is like, yeah, you're both up north. It's, I grew up in New York, so I'm used to having the whole change. Yeah, I think it might be a good idea, the daily life, because I think I could actually increase people. And it's creative, right? It's the passion. It's the and it's like the card of spring. It's like new growth, new ideas, new buds coming up, all that. Yeah. So, I grew up in New York, but yeah, and when you're a kid, snow is fantastic, but as you get older, it's like, oh, I could really slip and fall. Is it black ice? It gets really cold. It gets so cold it's in your bones, that thing. And New York is really windy because it's on the ocean. And with the tall buildings, it almost makes it worse. So it's like, oh, I'm gonna miss the snow. I'm gonna miss the fall. I don't miss it. I don't miss it. I get to be in the sun every single. I mean, the past 2 days was gloomy, but very rare. Um, but yeah, you would think. I mean, the weather changes slightly here. It changes slightly, but generally during the day, it's anywhere from say 70 to about 82. Usually, it's the high 70s, but it's not humid. So even if you sweat a little bit, because when the sun really comes down, it's tropical sun. So sometimes even it's like 77, it's like I'm sweating a little bit because it's like the sun is really hot. But then, it's so tree filled. You go under a tree and it dries up in like, 15 minutes. It's not. Hi, Patricia. So, but when come January, it's going to get cool here at night. It's going to get cool. Like maybe, I know the thing is, there's no heat. It's not like, oh, well, it's like 49 degrees, so maybe I'll turn on the heat a little bit. There's no heat to turn on. I could get one of those space things, but they're kind of ugly. And, how often do I need it? You just sleep with two blankets. That's all. I mean, maybe one day I will. We'll see. I'm sorry. um, Electric blanket. Yeah. No, I understand what you're saying about the change of seasons teaching you about life, but that's the way the garden is. Where are you, Patricia? Don't you live in New York, don't you? Um, yeah, I bought a heater in New York because I mean my building was so old that I mean I had heat all the time from the radiators, but there were so many drafts in the building that on a really windy day, it's like the heat is on full blast, but it's still like kind of chilly in here. And I had it looked like a fake radiator that you plugged in. It was on wheels. It was cheap, but it worked. I mean, the wheels eventually fell off. It really was cheap, but I think it had oil in it. So, I mean, it had no sound at all in it, and it really radiated. It was really nice. Because I have the other ones with the blowing wind, and I don't think having wind is such a good idea. I don't know what they're doing. They're blowing up the street because they're doing something new with the lines or something, and it kind of drives the dogs a little crazy. So, yes, you call it in. That's the energy. Call it in. Call in your helpers. I call in from my heart, right? From my heart, from my soul. I call in my helpers. I call in my soul buddies. I call in the people who want to support me and love me and comfort me, right? I call them in and I see them around me and I feel them around me, like surround in a lovely way, not in a crowd way. In a loving, kind, fulfilling way. And maybe some of them, maybe you don't. And just be open. That's the thing. It's like with me, with what I'm trying to do here. It's like you know, maybe it'll be teaching, maybe it'll be healing, maybe it'll be tarot, maybe it'll be a tour guide, maybe I don't know. And I had this little fantasy today of like, I meet some Mexican, they're like, oh my God, you have such good taste, be my interior decorator. It's like, sure, like whatever. All right, well, I'll look around. I mean, I don't think I need it. I'll see. It's, for like less than a month. And then because some nights, most nights here, like during pretty much the whole year, aside from January, it's like 57, 55, 52, 48. It's not, and it's warm during the day, so the apartment's warm. And then at night it cools down. So usually it's fine. It's just, like maybe 6 or 8 nights a year that it's really freaking cold. So I just get more blankets. I think I'll be fine. Um, so you call them in and then you send them love from your heart, like thank you. It's like sending love to, your friend who showed up when you needed to be listened to or whatever, because that's what the soul buddies are. And it could be somebody who offers you a job, it could be somebody who supports you in your career. So I did that. I called them in, right? You can't hear the dogs, but I can. So that being said, like I'm calling it in. I would love to sell some art. Like I would really love to sell some art today. I really would. Um, I would like to have like more of a creative life that I, make money from. Like I used to. Like I used to. I would love that. So I'm calling in like the art collectors. Like I don't know them, but I'm calling them in, right? Or maybe I do know them. So I'm calling them in. You feel it, and then you send it, and then you allow yourself. You receive that love. You receive that comfort. You receive that guidance, that support, and then you send love back to them. This beautiful surrounding energy, and if you're in your mind's eye, you see, like you in the middle, and like groups and groups and groups. It's even more betterer, because they could be anywhere in the world, especially now with the internet, right? So like I kind of know all of you, but I've never met you, and you're far away in a way, right? But it's a whole different. Not like, oh, it's somebody I know in my neighborhood, and then you send love out to them, right? But even like call them in, Dina, because sometimes there are some out there that you haven't met yet, right? That are there. We sign contracts in a way. On the other side, it's like, oh, in this life, I'm going to help this person get a job. I'm going to hold the door open for some. I'm going to. Sometimes I don't understand dogs. Most times, it's like, okay, dog. So, well, I guess we have a different understanding. Yeah, it's like, okay, yeah, there are explosions, and it's like, does barking make the explosion go away? Beautiful. So you call them in and then you send them love and then you ground in the energy. You ground in the energy. Sometimes I want to make meditations. Like I really want to make meditations this week, maybe even today, right? And do audio. I want to do some audio meditations and then put them up for sale, right? And it's like, okay, well, I'm all ready. And then it's quiet. And then all of a sudden, boom, boom, boom. That's the hard part about living here. It's like, I just never know what to expect. And then you ground the energy in, right? So I showed you, right? Like you cross your thing and I ground it in. This is so. I made it so, right? I made it so. And even at the end of a meditation, a lot of times, if I want to ground it in, I'll take the energy, like from the higher realm, say, from my soul star, which is way up here, and then I touch the ground, right? I touch the ground. Or if I'm doing it in bed, Like I'll receive, right? If I sit across leg in bed, I receive and then I just go boom. And I hear that, oh, and that, kind of grounds it in. I ground this in, right? I ground this in. All right. So I feel really badly that I lost that other live, but there's nothing much I can do. Nothing much I can do. So, oh yeah. Go visit my beautiful website and buy some art or tarot or something. And I'm going to send out another. Yes, it really helps, Teresa. It's really, because it's like sometimes we're doing this like spiritual work on the ethereal plane in our energetic body, which is great. But you know, you know, part of the interesting and the duality in a way is like we live, energetically, like in the ether in a way, and yet we're here in the physical, and it's like, well, how am I going to match them? And it's like putting a buckle on a coat, right? I gotta attach them somehow, right? Or sewing it together, or whatever metaphor you want to use, or gluing it. So that is that. Um, yeah, it was odd, I have to say. Yesterday, I did a little Instagram for 2 seconds, and I really missed like being in New York, seeing my friends, eating turkey. Because this one couple, friends of mine, they would always have Thanksgiving for years. I went there, and they always had their certain friends that came that I saw once a year, and a lot of them were the artists, and they were really. It was always fun, and there was always a ton of food, as always. And I kind of missed it yesterday because I don't really, I'm living. People are like, oh, they don't celebrate Thanksgiving in Mexico. I'm like, no, it's an American holiday. You know, it's kind of like people say, well, you don't celebrate Christmas. It's like, no, I'm Jewish. Like, I don't understand. It's like, do I celebrate Hindu holidays? Do you? Like, if you're Hindu, you celebrate them, and maybe if you're in that thing, but like, I don't understand. Well, I don't celebrate like the independence of I don't know, Nigeria or Argentina, because I'm not Nigerian or Argentinian. But Thanksgiving is, so it was a little weird. I mean, I got a lot of messages, and that was nice, and I sent messages back, but it wasn't the same as like, overeating with everybody else. Oh, that was the thing I wanted to say in the other video. You were telling me about a pie. So, you know, like I remember at Thanksgiving, I always would save room. And, somebody would be like, oh, well, we have Oreo cheesecake and we have apple crumb and we have this and we have that. Which one do you want? I want all of them. I want to make sure they're fresh. So it would have a little bit of each. And then, you save some room for like a second helping of the one that's the best. Simple. Oh, I'm just gonna have the pumpkin. It's like, no, no, no. There's pumpkin, there's pecan, there's whatever, blueberry, there's some chocolate one and something else. It's like I want all of them. Oh, and somebody brought cookies and somebody brought chocolate. Great. I've got room. I don't want to miss anything. It's kind of like that, like with the energy actually of like the soul buddies. It's like I don't even know who they are. Like I'm calling in art collectors. I'm calling in art collectors. I'm calling in art collectors. They're people who really get what I do, and then they want to collect art and they want to support my art career. I'm calling in people who want healings, right? I'm calling in people who want to row. I'm calling in people who maybe have an opportunity for a job for me. I'm calling in friendship. I'm calling in love. I'm calling in people who will help me to learn Spanish. I'm calling in people who have good ideas for me. I'm calling in people who know how to market web things, right? That's who I'm calling in, and I'm getting them closer, and I feel them, and I'm allowing them to support me and love me and comfort me. That's the energy, right? Whatever it is that you'd like to experience, right? Maybe you're into gardening and another gardener who has all this knowledge, right? Or even things on the internet, like I'm calling in, seeing the videos that'll help me, grow spiritually, emotionally, physically, financially, whatever, intellectually. I'm calling that in. And then so I receive the love from them and I send love to them in gratitude. And, I heard from this guy that I was kind of his mentor with in terms of like dyeing and like working with fabric and like starting a business. Young guy, lives in New York. And he used to come over like at one time every week and then for a while. So I heard from him, and the thing is, like, him being there, he taught me a lot. It was really lovely. It was a lovely exchange. And then every so often he'd bring me food, and it was nice. And so I heard from him, because it's like that's what buddies and helpers do for each other. It's like, oh, you know, it's almost like these little kids, like one tall and one short, right? The tall one, can put the short one on their thing so they could see the parade, right? And then the short one can like go in between the fence to get, something that the tall one threw over the fence and can't get through, etc. Thank you. I try. Exactly, Teresa. A small piece of every pie, of course. And then, but and then like, oh, is there any pecan pie left? It's like, no, you hide it. Oh, I don't know what happened. It was a whole pie. Where did it go? I don't know. Maybe the dog ate it. Actually, I prefer pumpkin over pecan generally. I prefer pumpkin over pecan. And now I'm getting hungry. I really prefer like the fruit pies over anything, over anything. But the fruit pies are usually like a summery thing. But I prefer the fruit pie and chocolate, of course. Chocolate is always number one. Now I want to go to the bakery. All right. So I'm going to be sending out. I think both of you were on my email list. I'm going to be sending out another email today for art. I put together quite a few of them yesterday, and I'm going to do a 1, 2, 3 punch. I don't know if that's the right way to market. Someone recommended it to me, like that was a helper, and like someone recommended it to me, and it like clicked off in my head. I was like, yeah, that makes sense. So I put together new emails. I'm getting better at those, and I'm going to send them like in a little while. Anyway, so I think I'm going to try to do lives every day. We'll see. If not, because I think the consistency of being here every day really helps, and I have the time, and we'll see what helpers show up. I could really use some helpers, to tell you the truth. Anyway, that is the story. So I think I'm going to go now, because it's about 30 minutes. That's enough. And I'm so sorry I missed the first one, but so it goes. All right. Blessings to you. Have a lovely weekend. And thanks, Dina. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think it's one of the meditations I'm going to do audio if I have a very quiet day with the dogs. And I'm going to put together audio um, meditations and then put them up for sale. I think that's my plan. I'm not really sure what my plan is, to tell you the truth. All right. Blessings, and talk to you soon. Um, oh, and if you want to buy more than one piece of art, we could do a deal. Let's do a deal. All right. Bye. Blessings.